Hey guys, welcome back to the Juice Reacts channel, and welcome to a video style that I haven't done in a pretty long time. We've been really just focusing on actual just reaction videos for a while now, but I used to back earlier in the channel's history, I used to do videos where we just talk about things. We think out loud, basically. And you guys were telling me that you would enjoy a video like that about Stranger Things. So that's what we're doing today. So if you're going to enjoy, hit that like button. And also, if you have any comments about if you agree with my opinions or my thoughts, or if you don't, obviously you don't want to spoil anything for season four, and then obviously the new season's coming out season five. But if you want to give me any tips or lead me in the right direction or say that I'm completely off, whatever you want to do, or just join in on the conversation, feel free to do down below in the comments. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/juicereacts. You can go there and sign up as a free or a paid member. If you sign up as a free member, you get the Stranger Things reactions, you get the 100 reactions, all for free. Same thing that I upload to YouTube, just in its entirety, no cuts, no blur, no nothing like that. It's the full video. But if you sign up as a paid member, you get some exclusive stuff alongside the free stuff that the stuff that the free members get. You also get some exclusive stuff like New Girl, Psych, Never Have I Ever. We have 3 paid series going on the channel or on the Patreon page as well. So if you want to go sign up as either one of those, feel free. If not, you just want to hang out here on YouTube, that's also fine as well. So let's get into it. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's kind of just going to be me talking out loud my thoughts about Stranger Things season 1 through 3 right now, what we've experienced so far in the watch along and the reactions, and then kind of like my predictions for season 4 and what's going to happen, who I think might die, if anybody dies, what the main plot's going to be about, like all that kind of stuff basically is what I'm thinking. And you guys obviously know what happens in season 4 because it's been out for a while now and I've obviously never seen it. So my thoughts are all going to be my own, and they could be completely off or they could be right. I have no idea, but we're just going to talk until I have nothing else to talk about. So let's start with what I think the plot for season 4 is going to be about. So there is one thing that I do know about, and I've talked this in previous episodes. There is one thing that I do know somewhat about. I am slightly familiar with, or at least I would recognize if I saw it, because I've seen, like, back when season 4 was releasing, I've seen promotional footage, and I remember seeing the main villain. Like, I kind of know what he looks like. He's kind of got like he's tall. Is he kind of lanky? I feel like he's kind of lanky, but that could just be my memory making up things. But he's got like a white face, or like a gray face, almost like he has no color in his skin, and he's kind of like not necessarily like the gloopy type like the Mind Flayer was, but it's kind of similar to that. I think I don't know. I could be completely off, but I feel like that's what he looks like. And he has like stringy white hair or gray hair almost. I think that's what he looks like. Does he have a nose? I feel like he's Voldemort. I feel like he has no nose. That seems like it's right. Because why would they put a nose on him? That seems a little weird. Because it's gonna be like a human, similar human figure. I don't know. I don't even know his name. So that's the villain. I know that he's gonna be the main villain of the season. Um, do I think the Mind Flayer is actually dead? Because at the end of season 3, we saw it. We just saw it in the last episode. Um, the gang ends up closing the bridge, closing the portal to the Upside Down, sacrificing Hopper, unfortunately, which I didn't see coming at all. I didn't think Hopper was going to die. I was even thinking that maybe Winona was going to be the one that dies, but it was actually Hopper who sacrifices himself by killing the Terminator guy, and then he can't get out in time. Winona has to close the portal with the 2 keys. She turns it, it explodes, and Hopper's in the explosion range, so he's dead. So that was pretty shocking. I wasn't expecting that. But do I think, and then obviously because they closed it, the connection is severed. The Mind Flayer dies, or at least we think he's dead. But is the Mind Flayer really ever dead? Like, since he was in the real world, since he was in the actual world, does that mean that he didn't leave like a piece of him behind in the Upside Down? Is there still a piece of him out there that's still alive in the real world, or is everything, because the portal's now closed, is everything just done? Like the connection is fully severed and everything's done. I don't know. That's something we'll have to figure out. I would assume that he's done because I mean he's been the villain for 2 seasons now, so I would assume that he's done, and we're going to move on to the actual boss. what I'm kind of thinking is that this guy that's going to be the bad guy for season 4, I'm kind of thinking that he is the main like person who runs the upside down. Like he's the person who runs that realm or that that world. And the Mind Flayer was kind of like his pet, or maybe not his pet, but like an underling, somebody in second in command kind of. And now that the Mind Flayer's been defeated, now the big guy's got to step up. He's got to be the one. Like it's the classic like if you can't get it done, if you can't get it done, you got to do it yourself or whatever the saying is. Um, you can't trust people to get it done for them, then you got to do it yourself. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm thinking that's kind of what it is. That's kind of where I'm leaning right now in my thought process. Um, do I think anybody's gonna die? I don't know. We just had the big dramatic death of Hopper, so I'd be shocked if anybody dies until maybe the season finale again. We also had I didn't even talk about Billy dying. So Billy and Hopper both died, which is pretty crazy. I didn't expect Billy to die either. I thought actually did I kind of expected him to die, but then I expected him to die, but then once he was freed from control, once he was freed from being flayed, because 11 was able to get to him, reach him, and she was able to break him free of the control. I thought maybe he was going to survive then, and then he gets killed by the Mind Flayer, and he's dead. So that kind of went out the window pretty quick. It was a pretty big roller coaster of I thought he was going to be dead, then I thought he was going to be alive, then he's dead again. So it was kind of pretty rough, but. I don't know. I don't. Obviously, none of the main people are gonna die. Like Mike's not gonna die. Will's not gonna die. Lucas, Dustin, all those guys are not gonna die. I'd be shocked if Nancy died. I wouldn't think Nancy's gonna die. Steve's not gonna die. Jonathan, there's a world where Jonathan could die. I could see that. That'd be like the big dramatic, like Nancy's crying over it. Like I could see that happening. And one of you guys actually in the comments of the last video said that the actors, Nancy and Jonathan's actors, are actually dating in real life, which is pretty cool. I had no idea that was happening. So that's a cool little detail. But because he said this, that's why the chemistry was so good. So I could see Jonathan being the big sacrifice for this season, where he's the one that dies. I don't think Winona's gonna die. She's now like the parent figure of the group, so she's not gonna die. Obviously, Eleven's not gonna die. Um, am I missing anybody? Oh, who's the other girl? Why am I blanking on her name? With Steve, the one that Steve liked. Rose. Right. What's her name? I don't know. I can't think of it. You know who I'm talking about. I can't think of it right now. I don't think she dies either. So Jonathan's my big like surprise. I think he could die. That's my bold prediction for if anybody if any character does end up dying in this season, it could be Jonathan. Um, what else do I want to talk about? I guess just random plots that I could see happening or random plot lines. Oh, I also want to mention that one of you guys early in the season, back in like the first couple episodes, had mentioned that John B from Outer Banks was in this season, and I didn't see him. At least I didn't recognize him. Maybe I missed him. If I did miss him, let me know, and I'll go back and see if I can find him again. But obviously, we saw Madeline Klein. Is that her name? Madeline Klein? Madison Klein? Whatever her name is. She was in it for a couple episodes. Obviously, I recognize her. But I think you said somebody said that John B was also in it, but I didn't ever recognize him. They weren't at the school very much, so I feel like that's where he would be. But he could have been somewhere else. I don't know. He could have been one of the guys that was flayed. It was like in that big group in one of the episodes. So that could have been possible. I just didn't recognize him. I don't know. Maybe he's in this season. I don't know. I have no idea. I just remember somebody saying that he was in Stranger Things but you'd have to like he's not like a main character. Obviously, you had to pick him out of a crowd or whatever. So just wanted to point that out. But main plot lines for season 4. Obviously, we're gonna get that bad guy, but how's it gonna work where they're gonna open? How are they gonna get back to the Upside Down? Because everything's closed now. They closed the final portal, but we do have at the very end of the season they did that little like mid-credit scene where the Demogorgon was back, or was it a Demodog? No, it was a Demodog. It was a Demogorgon, and it killed that prisoner guy. But in the prison, they said the guards were gonna open the one prison door, but then the one guard said no, not the American, and then they went and got the Russian guy, and then he's the one that they killed. Who's the American that's in the prison? I guess it could be the translator guy. Why am I blanking on his? I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. You guys know this by now if you're longtime viewers of the channel. I'm terrible with names. I apologize. The guy that was the translator that was friends with Alexi who died in at the carnival or at the fair, whatever it was. I'm blanking on his name too, but he we didn't find out what happened to him. Once they did that transition to the 1 month later or whatever it was, we didn't find out where he went. We saw everybody else. Everybody was packing up and moving on with their lives. And Steven and or not Nancy, Steven, I got so confident about that. Steve and the other girl, um, they were getting jobs at the movie at the like the family video or whatever it was. So we didn't see where he went. Did he get arrested? Because the military came in at the very end to kind of clean things up. Maybe there was like a subset of like Russian uh guards that were still there that were like undercover and they captured him or something. I don't know. That's just throwing out a wild theory there. That's probably not even close to true. But I don't know who else could be the American. Maybe it's somebody we haven't met yet. That's also a possibility, I guess. I just remember them saying that don't get the American. Like they were about to open up his door, but then they said no, not the American. Get the other guy. And so they got him, and then they brought him down to that cage. They dragged him down all those stairs. That was pretty brutal, and unnecessary too. And then they throw him in that pit, and then they open the cage door, and a Demogorgon comes out, and it kills the dude, or at least we assume it kills the dude. So how is the Demogorgon back? He obviously was still around before the portal closed. Like they had captured it um, before the portal closed. But I thought when the portal closed, like all of the connections are severed, and everything from the upside down that was in the real world dies. Like that's what happened to Mind Flayer. I guess that doesn't happen with the Demogorgon. I don't know. I don't really know how Demogorgons work. We only saw the one in the first season. I don't know. I don't know. This show's so complicated, man. I can't even keep up with this sometimes. I know you guys are really nice to me. You say that I'm keeping up with it and my theories and my thought process is on the right track, but it's okay. You can call me slow and you can call me uh uneducated if you want to. I wouldn't my feelings wouldn't be hurt about it if you wanted to do that because I'm struggling to keep up with the show. That is for sure. It's a lot coming at me real quick and all at once, and there's a lot of information, so it's hard to comprehend for my feeble mind. So season 4, you guys have said that the episodes are super long, which I'm not looking forward to simply for editing purposes because it's going to take me like twice as long to edit them, which is kind of annoying. But that's my problem, not your problem. So I guess be on the lookout for the Patreon episodes because those are going to be massive videos. That's for sure. I really enjoyed season 3. The change of pace was nice. The change from like it was a lot funnier. Season 3 was a lot funnier than season 1 and season 2. Season 1 and season 2 had their moments, but season 3 was like a super it felt like a fresh perspective, a fresh change. Uh I guess a breath of fresh air is what I was looking for there. It was definitely a lot smoother, you could say. Like the jokes were funny, they hit on time, and I don't know, it was good. I liked it a lot. I like season 3 is probably my favorite season so far of what I've seen. Just because like it was so action packed and the comedy was there. Dustin and Steve are an amazing duo. You guys didn't lie about that. You said that the duo was pretty good. They're definitely a pretty good duo. So that was pretty awesome. Uh, yeah, season 3 is pretty good. So I don't know. I feel like if I was gonna rank all 3 seasons so far, it'd be season 3, season 1, season 2 is probably how I do it right now. Not to discredit season 2, but season one was peak. Like season one's really good. And then season two built on what season one did, but I don't know, I didn't like the fact that the Mind Flayer was not like a real tangible threat in season two. It was kind of just in Will's body and taking over like that. I like the actual like seeing the actual Mind Flayer and its disgusting hideous glory was better in my opinion. So that's why I would probably put season three and the comedy obviously. I'd put season three over season two, but I'd probably go three, one, two is how I'd rank it so far. Maybe that'll change when I watch season four. Maybe season four will be above season three. Who knows? But for right now, it's probably where I would rank it. I hmm. I don't really know what else to talk about. I guess we could talk about because I didn't really ever get into like, other plot lines other than what I thought the main story would be about the main bad guy. So obviously we know that Eleven is now kind of with the Byers family. She went with Winona in the moving truck. So I would assume that she's gonna like become part of their family. That's just like the natural thing I would expect to happen. I feel like she's because the problem with a show like Stranger Things is that they take so long to film these seasons that the actors are obviously growing. It's gonna be kind of it's gonna be kind of a shock, like a little bit of a punch to the face when we watch the first episode of season four and or season three. No, season four. I'm right. I was right the first time. When we watch the first episode of season four, and all the kids are grown teenagers now. They're grown, not adults yet, but preteen or pre-adults. Um, it's just going to be different because we saw them in season three, and they were I don't know what they were like 14 years old, something like that, 13 years old. And then they go and they're probably going to be like 15, 16, 17 at this point. So I don't know, it's just that's just one thing I was thinking about how it's going to be different to see them now that they're even more older than what they were because the seasons took so long to come out that they just naturally grow as humans. They just naturally age. So that is one bad thing about Netflix series. They take so long to release. It's the same thing with the Wednesday show that's going on right now. But I just wanted to point that out because I thought that was interesting. But I think season. I mean, we focused a lot on Eleven and Will for the first three seasons. It's been first two seasons were almost exclusively about Will. Obviously, we had the 11 storyline as well, but Will Byers has been the main like focal point of the first two seasons. Season three kind of took a little bit of a back seat once the Mind Flayer was out of his system and everything. It was more about 11, and it was about some about Dustin and Steve a little bit, and then it was about Winona and Hopper. So I bet this season we probably focus a little bit more on the relationship between Eleven and Mike. That's probably where we go a little bit. Maybe Lucas will get some shine because he's still dating uh, Max. So maybe we'll get a little bit more relationship stuff with both of them. And we still got to figure out what's her name? Susie? Dustin and Susie? Like, is Susie gonna be a factor in the show, or is that just a one-off thing for the final episode of the season? Because they had built it up all year or all season about how nobody thought she was real. He was just making it up, and then she actually ends up being real, and she lives in Salt Lake. She actually does live in Salt Lake City. Uh, so that was a kind of funny moment. That was a really funny moment. And is she going to be more of a factor? Is she going to be a main, not a main character, but a more recurring character, or was that just a one-off thing for the episode? I have no idea. So we got to look out for that. Where does Jonathan and Nancy go from here? Because obviously Jonathan was moving away with Winona and Will and Eleven. So where does their relationship go? What happens with Max outside of the relationship with Lucas? Like she's obviously going to go back home to her parents, but how does she break the news about Billy? Like what's going to happen there? So I don't know. That's all kind of crazy. And then you've obviously got no police chief now that Hopper's dead. So how is that going to transition? Are we going to get a new character there where there's a new police chief? Maybe that could be interesting. I don't know, but they're leaving Hawkins. Like Winona left. They left in Hawkins, Indiana. So I don't know where they're going to go. I have no idea. But we also got to figure out what happens with the mayor because the mayor got arrested, right? Or did he get arrested or was he just I think he got arrested. Is he going to be a more recurring character again? Is he going to be more of an important character in season 4? Because he has those ties to the Russians. Are the Russians just gone now because they were defeated, or are they going to be more? They got to be more impactful because we saw the end credit scene or the mid credit scene. It was a Russian prison, so the Russians are definitely not done. I just don't know what else they're going to be doing. They have control of a Demogorgon, so they're going to be probably pretty important. But who's going to be like the main guy in charge of it? Is it going to be an actual Russian guy, or is it going to be somebody that's like benefiting from like the Russians are broken apart and separated now, and this guy maybe like takes them and controls them or something? I don't know. I'm just throwing out random things. Probably all are going to be wrong, but I don't know. I don't really know what else I would think. I pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the main villain guy. I can't wait to learn his name so I can still stop calling him the main villain guy. But I talked about him. I talked about 11. Oh, there is a meme that I wanted to talk about because I have seen this meme before, and it's a meme of Will crying in a car. He's like got his hand on his mouth and he's like crying. I don't know where it looked like they were in the Upside Down. But at the time, obviously, when I saw the meme, I didn't know what the Upside Down was because I hadn't seen the show. So I just didn't know what it. I just saw the character crying. But now that I have a little bit more context about the show, now that I've seen the first 3 seasons, why like they're in a car in the upside? So they obviously get back to the Upside Down at some point. How do they do that? I don't know. But why is Will crying? Or is he laughing? I don't know. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. But I have seen that meme, so there are a few things just by happenstance that I have seen just because I'm chronically online and I have seen a bunch of things. But back then I didn't know what it meant because I hadn't seen the show. So now that I've seen the show, at least the first 3 seasons, I have more context about certain memes and certain clips of the seasons that I've seen before that I had no idea about. Now I might know a little bit more about. There is also something that people always talk about how it's like super cringy and horrible, where Eleven's like, because obviously she lost her powers. That's right. I didn't even talk about that. This made me think of it. We'll get to that in a second. But there's like they're in like a schoolyard or something, or like a playground area, and 11 like goes to attack this girl with her powers, but it doesn't happen. She's just screaming or something. Like people call that like they make fun of it because it's like super cringy or something. Um, like why is she in that situation? I don't know. We're gonna find out, I guess. But there's a lot of questions that I have based on internet memes that I've seen. So we'll figure out probably a lot of it will be answered in this fourth season, I would assume. But back to 11 not having powers. That's the one like main piece that I haven't talked about yet. So 11, her powers, I assume, were not officially gone, but maybe they're drained because of how much stress she had to go through in this entire season. Like she was using her powers a lot in season 3. So I wouldn't think that they're fully gone because that would be stupid. So there's probably going to be some big storyline thread where she has to go on this journey to get her to activate her powers again or to reactivate them, and maybe Mike goes with her. Maybe that's how they get to the under or the upside down again. Maybe that's the way that she can activate her powers again, is they have to travel back to the upside down, and there's like some mulligan in the upside down that is the reason her powers work in the first place, and that was like where the Hawkins lab was getting all their energy from, and that's how they created Eleven's powers in the first place. And then she has to go to the source to get to reactivate her powers or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool, I guess. But oh, also, Are we ever going to see the other numbers? We saw the one girl, like what was her name, 8 or something like that. What was her number? So are we ever going to see them again, or were they just one-offs, or was she just a one-off? Are we ever going to see those people again? Are we ever going to see any of the other numbers? I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. But I think now that I think now that I've talked about 11 not having her powers, I think that's everything. I can't really think of anything else. I guess if you guys, we can continue this discussion in the comments if you have any other thoughts, or maybe I'm forgetting something. I am pretty forgetful. You guys know this by now. Um, but if I'm forgetting anything that you guys maybe wanted to hear me talk about, then just leave it down below in the comments, and I can talk about it there. Or maybe I can make another quick little update video about things that I might have missed that you guys want to hear me discuss or talk about. And the next video, unless I make that update video, the next video you should see about Stranger Things should be season 4, episode 1. That's probably where we go next. But I wanted to make this little talking video, just kind of chill and discuss my theories and my thoughts. And I guess I threw in a little ranking there of the 3 seasons so far. Just wanted to give it out there because we haven't done one of these in a while. So it's been like strictly just reaction videos for a long time now. So might as well get a little talking video where we don't have to worry about copyright or anything like that. We don't have to worry about the blur effect. So we can just have a little chat, little conversation. And obviously this would have been better to do as a live stream, but I didn't really have the time to do a live stream. Just have time to do a little video. So that's going to do it for me. Like I said, if you want to leave a comment down below talking about things that I talked about in the video, or if you agree, if you disagree, or adding on to anything that I may have said, well, obviously without giving spoilers, then feel free to down below in the comments. Don't forget about my Patreon page, patreon.com/JaceReacts, if you want to go check out the videos in their entirety. Obviously, free or paid member. You don't have to sign up as a paid member. But if you want to, it's there for you. There's the extra content on there as well. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Just make you cry, and I don't wanna fight with you.